So I'm excited about the cleanse. I hope you guys are excited. So starting on Monday. And what I wanted to do today was just really review the portal with you, show you, the what's in there, what's important to look at beforehand. The important thing about this cleanse is we're just trying to take away certain foods that can be heavy on the liver. We're just trying to allow our liver to loosen up, to clean itself out so we can feel better. You do not have to follow my recipes that are in here. I do give you an idea of the foods to eat, the prebiotic foods, the probiotics, some fermented, mainly veggies, that type of thing. So you should know or understand what are the best foods to eat while you're on the cleanse. You can certainly, make your own recipes that follow it. If you have any questions, you can certainly ask, okay? But I'm not telling you what to eat. I don't like those cleanses where, there's 5 things and you're supposed to eat what I tell you to eat. I prefer you to find something that you like, that that seems interesting to you, and then you kind of try that out. Okay. Now, can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. Beautiful.
Yes.
Okay. So here's the portal. And then when you go up, to the tabs and just move over the tab, you're going to have all these things to look at. So tips for a successful cleanse, that's just really talking about making sure that you're actually pooping, because that's one of the ways that we get everything out of the body that we're pulling out. Weaning off sugar. I like Olapop. That is actually a prebiotic soda that has really great prebiotic ingredients that we don't usually find in the store. And it tastes like, it tastes like all these things. It tastes like root beer, and it's really, really good. So I'm kind of
Grape is the best.
what?
Grape is the best. Olaplex.
I think root beer is, but yes, but
Right.
if you are drinking, tea or something with caffeine, a lot of caffeine or sugar in it, then this is something that you can start substituting in that will help. Otherwise, fruit with water with fruit is also another good one. So you can definitely read through that. I do recommend a high-speed blender. Both of you have worked with me before, so I'm big on that if you're going to do the smoothies. That just gives you the best, like consistency of the smoothie. The supplements. I think both of you know the supplements. I've sent it to both of you. So, Susie, I believe you've been on something for your liver for a while now. So if you want to, you can probably increase a little bit faster if you've been on milk thistle for a while. If you haven't, then I would just probably start with the one. After 3 days, go 1 and 1, and then you can kind of increase after that. But we could always talk about that um, if you have any questions
Okay.
a little bit later. Okay. I like True
Okay.
Honey powder just because it's super clean, has very few ingredients, but you can certainly find another vegan powder that you like. That's perfectly fine for the smoothies. Okay. Castor oil pack. I believe you both have heard me talk about that before. So this is where you can purchase that. And then a dry brush for lymphatic and drainage. And again, you can either get that at the drugstore, or you can also get it at the same place that you get the liver castor oil pack. Food staples is just kind of something that you can go by. It's not necessarily for this cleanse. It's really just things that you can have in your kitchen all the time, makes it easier for you to do a throw together meal. And then pantry purge is just kind of helping you remove those things that may be in your pantry that you fall back on that aren't as healthy. So you can just kind of go through that for this week and throw things out. Why cleanse is totally up to you. That's just talking about background on why we really need to do this. We just have a lot of toxins in the environment that we really can't take out on our own. And so being able to remove them from our body is really the easiest way. The basics, this is really where the food part comes in. So I would love for you to eat prebiotic, probiotic, and fermented foods every day. So here's kind of the list of the prebiotic foods, just having some of these in with a salad. Most of these things are in the recipes, any kind of legumes, beans, lentils, these fruits, those are all great for your gut, your microbiome. Probiotics. And if you don't like any of these things, that's okay. You're still going to be eating lots of veggies. So, don't get too worried about if you don't really like these things. This can come later. If your taste buds aren't really happy with these foods. And then just to show you what the dirty does. And so I recommend that these specific 12 foods are purchased organic because they are known to have the highest amount of pesticides. And again, glyphosate, which is one of those toxins that we're trying to actually pull out of the body. And then water, I recommend, 2 liters of water or more a day. That's really just having, some kind of water jug with you at all times. You might be peeing a lot more, but that's great because that's also a way that you're going to be getting rid of the toxins that you're pulling out. Okay. And if you guys have any questions, you can just jump right in. You don't have to worry about anything. Detoxifying foods. I'm just giving you a list of great foods for you to eat during this cleanse that are going to be super great for your liver. Cruciferous veggies, microgreens, any type of microgreens. They can be broccoli, they can be mixture, they can be cilantro, whatever. Asparagus, avocado, beets, celery, cilantro if you like it, garlic if you can eat it, ginger if you can eat it, lemon if you can eat it. So some of these things, even though they're healthy, they don't work for everyone. So I'm not telling you to eat things that don't work for you. If every time you have lemon, you start having reflux, then lemon's not the thing for you. You can try lime. If lime's not doing it for you either, then you can kind of leave that out altogether. But these are just foods that are helpful for the body, that the body needs in order to detox things better. Parsley, turmeric, apples, blueberries. So if you just, tried to eat something from this list every day, you're going to be much better off than you were if you're not eating these things. Now I'm going to spend time on this, and you guys know me well enough to know that you've probably heard this a gazillion times. How you eat is so important. So if you're eating the healthiest foods on earth, but you're not eating this way, you're not actually going to be able to absorb them. And I know this can be super tough when you're at work and you're busy and you've got, like a lot going on. And it's just kind of getting used to taking that time. And so it's all about just wherever you are, taking your food, if it's takeout, if you just made it, wherever, if you're taking over to the kitchen, you can go ahead and start doing those nice belly breaths, just breathing in, making sure your belly comes outward, and then letting it out. And that's just stimulating that vagus nerve. So you're going to move from that stress response into that parasympathetic response. And to tell you the truth, most of the time you might not even realize it. You may think, I'm not going to do that because I'm relaxed. I've been watching TV. I'm totally relaxed. But actually, you probably are in that stress response because that's where your body goes when you're thinking and you're doing things. So just 5, 10 breaths in and out are just can make a huge difference on how you digest your food. And then, of course, just taking smaller bites, chewing them thoroughly, and then swallowing. So, I remind you to look at this every day. This is how I would love for you to be eating every one of your meals and your snacks. It's just getting used to it. Okay. Seasonal produce is just going to go over the things for November that are going to be fresh at the market, fresh at the farmer's market. So these are great things to be eating right now. They're going to be super full of nutrients, phytonutrients, and all of that. Now, your daily schedule. This is, again, I'm not really telling you what to do. This is more of a example. Okay. So this is what if you are doing everything on here that I am recommending, then this is what your day might look like. Belly massage in the morning before you even get out of bed. And then once you get up, you can put either sesame oil in your mouth or coconut oil, swish it around for anywhere between 1 minute to 15 minutes, whatever time you have, spit it out, and that's just going to help get that bacteria out of your mouth. If you have time, there's a detox elixir on here. There's several other things that you can make in the morning, or you can just drink a glass of water. If you take a shower in the morning, then you can do your dry brushing and then shower. This is when you, with breakfast, that's when you'll be taking one of your liver detox supplements, okay? Mid-morning, it's a great time to drink some more water, go for a walk, have some tea. Lunch, same thing. And then with dinner after day 3, if you haven't been on any other liver supplements, that's when you'll add your second liver detox supplement, okay? And then nighttime is a great time to do dry brushing. If you're going to shower at night, it's a great time to do your gratitude journal, legs up the wall, your castor oil pack, all of those things, okay? And then I just put this down here because this is kind of one of those, the easiest ways to look at this. For lunch and dinner, think about it this way: soup, salad, soup and salad, several different salads, like a lot of different ones, or, leftovers as a stir fry, as a burrito bowl, or as a taco. So that's what there's plenty of options for you to eat over this 7-day period, okay? This is all the lifestyle habits. So this is just going in and reading about this. Again, you both have heard all of this from me already, but this just gives you a little bit of, if you need to order something, where you order it and how to do it, what's the best time of the day to do it, and what you're doing it for. Okay, so if you forget how to do the breathing, then you can go to breathing and, practice there. If you want to know how to do the castor oil pack, it's all there. Okay. So with the recipes, we have drinks and elixirs, breakfast, which is going to be either smoothies or some kind of warm cereal. There's a muffin on there. There's a chia seed pudding. So there's, again, lots of options for you. The salads, the soups, the vegetarian meals, everything's on there. What I would love to show you today is how you can create a shopping list. So before you go shopping, you may want to not do everything on Sunday for the entire week. Sometimes I say you might want to do Sunday. That's going to be Monday through Wednesday or Monday through Thursday. And then you may want to go to the store again. But there's a great way using AI to actually make a shopping list. And so I can show you how to do that today. So basically, when we go to breakfast, here's all your recipes. So you can decide what you can look at them, decide what looks good, that type of thing. Protein muffins, quinoa, granola, all of that. Then at the bottom here, if you click right here, then it will open up a Google document and you'll be able to save it as your own, okay? So that Google document looks like this. And so what you can do is you can literally copy the recipes that you like. Then you can go into, I don't know if you're going to see this. Can you see Chat GPT right now?
Mm-hmm.
So then I can go in here and say, please create one shopping list with including all of the ingredients from all of these recipes. And if you're going to do one of the recipes 2 days, you just have to tell it what you want, basically. Okay. And then you would copy and paste, you'd paste that recipe in there. Then you go back, say, I'm going to do this unbeatable smoothie. I'm going to do the protein muffins. And you can copy that, go back into Chat GPT, put it in there. Then you can do the same thing with here's the slow cooker, the crock pot recipes. Say I want to make the lentils, like the first 3 soups. And I'm just doing the whole recipe. You don't even have to just do the ingredients. And then you click go. And here's a consolidated shopping list. It tells you, exactly what you need. And then you can either save that, or you can, copy that and put it into a document or in your notes, and then go to the grocery store. Okay. So super easy. And then you're not going to be overbuying. With this, what I say is, when you're planning your meals, I think it's really easy to maybe go to the grocery store on either Saturday or Sunday and then prepare a little on Sunday. Maybe you're going to make 3 soups. Maybe you make one on Sunday. Maybe you're doing crock pot ones, so you can do them in the morning. You can just have everything cut up. You can just throw it in the crock pot in the morning, so it'll be ready for that day. At the end of the week, you'll probably have leftover vegetables. So that's when you want to do your stir fry. That's when you want to do your tacos, because then whatever you have left, you can just saute it in a pan and either, put it in a taco, a grain-free taco tortilla, or you can make a bowl out of it, or, what was the third thing?
Lettuce wrap.
What?
Lettuce wrap.
Lettuce wrap. So that's kind of an easy way to do things. Okay. So just kind of make it easy on yourself. But in the beginning, I would definitely try to make at least 3 soups, and maybe 2 or 3 salads. And then that's what you can have for the beginning of the week. Sometimes when you have a salad, you don't want to eat like a huge salad. So sometimes it's nice to have 2 different salads. As you'll see, some of the salads have lettuce and some of them don't have lettuce at all. They're just made of vegetables. So you can kind of pick and choose what you like. But I usually find myself doing a soup and a salad, or like 3 different types of salads. And then at night, to change it up a little bit, I'll do, maybe the stir fry or the tacos. So I'm not eating exactly the same thing in every meal. Does that make sense so far?
Yep.
Does anybody have any questions about that with the AI? See how
No,
low-
you just have to download chat. Do you go to a website, or you have to download something to do chat?
Actually, you just go to Chat GPT and you just have to you just have to make an account, and it's free. And
Okay.
yeah, I mean, you see how easy that is. And you can even say, I need a little bit of extra veggies, for something else. But if you put in your tacos and you put in all of that, it'll give you exactly what you need. So it's easier than anything I could do for you. Okay.
It's pretty cool.
I know, super cool. Let's see. A couple things I wanted to talk about. I think, because Susie, I think you're still, I just learned something and I wanted to tell you because I'm so excited about it, Susie, because you're still menstruating. There was a woman who was talking about how we have, and I'll stop sharing, how we have specific cravings during our period. And that, it kind of freaks us out, and we're like, like when we're, when we're creating our progesterone at the end of the normal cycle, that's when we want cake and cookies and chocolate, because that's how we make progesterone. Progesterone needs sugar, it needs carbohydrates, but estrogen doesn't. Estrogen is more like green leafy vegetables and that type of thing. So that in that part of our cycle, that's when we normally eat like healthier foods. And to let yourself eat those things, like because I think we've all grown up to where we're like, like we have to stay on our diet and we can't eat the foods that we're really craving. I'm not saying eat the cake and the cookies, but you can eat more of the carbohydrates, more of the pastas, more of the sweet potatoes, some of the things that you may not be eating at the other times. So I just thought this was kind of cool. Progesterone. So when you actually start your period, that is the estrogen phase. The estrogen phase goes to about 20 days, and then the last week of your period, no, sorry, the last week of your cycle before you're going to get your period again is your progesterone phase. So progesterone is like sweet potato, dark chocolate, nuts, avocado, pumpkin seeds, and then estrogen is greens, flax seeds, sesame seeds, blueberries, things like that. And you might have heard of me talk about that because I've usually talk about my seed cycling that you do, and it actually goes right along with this with the specific seeds. So thought that was kind of cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, yeah. So any questions that either of you guys have about what we've gone over so far?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Okay. It's not a difficult thing. It's just, get excited for it. It's going to just, you're going to have a lot more energy. I know you're taking out meat. If you one day you feel totally exhausted and you feel like you can't live without meat, just make sure it's good quality meat. So it's, grass-fed beef or organic chicken from pasture-raised chickens. But honestly, you should be able to do 7 days without animal products. It's just going to be better for your liver to clean things out. I think the biggest and the hardest thing for people is that we normally eat, like a piece of meat, and then we have a couple vegetables. When you take away the meat, you're not just eating those 2 vegetables. You're going to eat a whole plate. So you can really eat so much more food. And to replace that meat, think about lentils, think about beans, think about quinoa, and all of those things will be in there. But those are the things that are going to be filled with protein that are still going to make you, and so protein and fat will satiate you. So carbohydrates make you feel good, but you'll be hungry right away after that. So just make sure it's that well-balanced meal where you do have some kind of fat, and that's olive oil, avocado, nuts and seeds. Like, feel free to put nuts and seeds on every one of your salads. With protein, it's quinoa, lentils, beans. Your veggies are going to have protein, your greens, things like that. Nuts and seeds, again, have some protein in them. So you can eat lots and lots of food. You don't have to like measure anything. You don't have to weigh anything, nothing like that. Okay.
Okay.
And I do recommend the liver supplement. It just helps move things through. If you're sensitive, then yes, start with 1 in the morning, and 3 days later, add 1 in the evening. If you're not so sensitive, you can go ahead and start with 1 and 1. And then after 3 or 4 days, you can do 2 and 2. Okay. You're going to have enough supplement for pretty much the whole month. I recommend continuing with the supplement, taking it until it's completely done. And you can continue that with a 2 and a 2. So 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening for the rest of the month.
So the 1 supplement in the morning for 3 days, and then you add the second one for the rest of the week. When do you add the 2 and 2?
Yeah, so 3 more days, do the 1 and 1. And then once you're there, then you can go to 2. You can probably just go ahead and go to 2 and 2.
Okay.
Sometimes you can be a little bit more sensitive. So you might just want to go with 2. It just kind of see how you feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I suppose. Okay.
Yeah. Because, the liver does so much. And when the liver gets backed up and gets stagnant, it stops like everything from really working well. But you can't all of a sudden just start, giving it that supplement where you're trying to push it. So you'll know, like, if you take the 2 and all of a sudden you're like, I don't feel as good, I feel really tired, then just back off for the next day. It's very, very common. Like, I pretty much eat this way, but every time I do this liver cleanse, I don't feel well for the first like 2 or 3 days. I might have like a low grade headache. I may not have as much energy. It's normal. Okay. So don't worry about that. You drink more water. Again, make sure you're having enough bowel movements, and you can always talk to me if you feel like you're not, and I can always tell you, other things that you can be doing for that. If you're eating enough veggies, like I always say, try to pick the veggies that kind of help you move. Lentils is usually one that really helps people go to the bathroom anyway. Things like artichokes can be like that. Any of the greens, so cabbage and things like that. So just eat more of those. Do your belly massage. You can do that morning and night. You can do it 3 times a day. You can do it as often as you want. That's just you kind of manually helping things move through your gut. Okay. Any questions about like certain foods that you normally eat that you're like, can I still eat those, or anything like that you can think of?
Rice.
So I would love for you to do quinoa and wild rice, because wild rice is actually a seed and not a grain. Brown rice more than white rice. But yeah, I would prefer like those two over, and if you, and it's kind of a fun thing. Try something new if that's not something that you usually do. What I recommend is if you have an Instapot on Sunday, one of the great things you can do is cook like maybe 2 cups of quinoa and then 2 cups of wild rice. And then you have that as a side for the whole week. You can throw it in your soups, you can throw it in your salads, you can have it as a side. I love the lentil soup at Trader Joe's, and I love to actually warm up the lentil soup at Trader Joe's and then pour it over rice or wild rice or quinoa, and it just kind of makes for a more filling meal.
Okay.
So that can be
Are you saying lentil soup, or those lentils in a pack at Trader Joe's? Either.
actually talking the lentil soup, because then there's like a sauce to it. It's not just lentils.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
a super easy way to make a meal. Is take the lentil soup, because it's still kind of thick. It's not like brothy. It's like thicker, and then just spoon it onto wild rice or quinoa. And you can even put other veggies in there. Have a salad on the side, so that can be a great meal.
It's just Trader Joe's brand. Is it
Yeah,
a box or a
it's in a
can?
it's in a can on the shelf.
Okay.
We that's like one of our things that we always have in our pantry. We always have at least 2 of those cans, because they're just days where you're like, either you don't have time really to make lunch, or you don't know what to eat or whatever. That is the easiest thing, and it's super healthy because it's lentils and it's going to have protein in it and fill you up and all of that. So I really do like that soup.
Okay.
Okay. There is a little bit of information about bringing foods back in. This is like the basis of what I recommend, how I recommend you eat anyway. When you start bringing things back in, I recommend, if you're going to eat animal protein, then do the animal protein first. And again, just keep it good quality, keep it grass-fed beef, keep it wild fish, keep it organic chicken. And then if you want to go back to eggs, eggs can be another thing. I'm on the shelf with dairy. I don't love people to have dairy, because we can't break it down as well as we age, and then it increases risk for autoimmunity. If you're going to do that, then I always say bring one thing in at a time. So if you're dying to have some chicken and bring that back in. Don't bring in pizza with chicken and cheese and, whatever, all in one meal. You actually may get sick. You may not feel well. So it's really just for your benefit to not kind of bombard your body. And then you can always tell if your body doesn't like something. A lot of us have a problem with chicken and we don't even think about it. So once you've kind of cleaned your system out for 7 days and you bring chicken in, if you have a headache that night, or you have a stuffy nose, think about it. It could be the chicken. So it's just a great way to kind of acknowledge that, hey, there's some foods out there that are healthy, but may not be the best for me. So I always say, bring it in for 1 to 3 days. Then you can bring in something else 1 to 3 days. then something else 1 to 3 days. It's just the easiest way to kind of do your own little experiment. Because like eggs, I mean, everyone that we've tested usually has a problem with the yellow or the white. So, but you know, people continue to eat eggs all the time. I finally figured out that eggs were a problem for me. And so when you bring those in, just see how you feel. You may feel perfectly fine. If that's the case, you know, keep eating them. But if you notice, oh my gosh, all of a sudden I'm got a stuffy nose, like I haven't had a stuffy nose for the, you know, the whole time on the cleanse, but now it could be the eggs. Okay. Anything else?
Were you going to talk about the fast kind of hours as an option? Or were you going to mention that?
So I don't know if anybody's doing fasting. The fasting that I'm really talking more about with people is what we call intermittent fasting, where you are fasting for anywhere between like 12 and 16 hours, and then you're eating within like more like an 8-hour window. So you can certainly continue to do that on this cleanse. Just when you eat in your eating window, these are the foods that you're going to eat. It's as easy as that. You're just moving instead of, you know, eating from 8 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock at night. You're usually pushing it like 11 to 6 or something like that. And see how you do. It's just really, you just have to try it out. The first couple of days, you might feel hungry just because your body's used to being fed at a certain time. But after that, you may feel really good. You may have a lot of energy. It needs to work with your schedule, basically. So, you know, when you have that short window, if you're at work and you can't really eat while you're at work, then it may not work for you. Some people, but you can, it doesn't have to be 11 to 6. It can be, you know, 8 to 2. It just depends on what works for you. Okay. And then we just found the reason I even talk about intermittent fasting is because there's a lot of research that that's how people are losing weight. So if that's some of interest to you, that's something you could play around with here, or we could talk about it later after the cleanse. And, you know, I could give you more info about how to really do it.
Okay.
Okay. And we have the Facebook group, so you can go in there at any time. Feel free to take pictures of your food. Tell me if you like things. Tell me if you don't like things. If you don't like a recipe, tell me. I don't want to keep a yucky recipe in here. So if you don't like it, tell me. I'm probably going to get in there and be like, "Hello, how do you feel?" Because I want to know how you're feeling.
Okay.
Every day, I would love for you to go in there every day and be like, "Oh, I feel good," or "Oh, I don't feel great," or whatever, just to give me an idea. Or like, "Hey, I feel like I haven't pooped in a couple days. Deanne, what do I do?" That's the Facebook group. You can you guys both have my, you know, my phone number too, so you can text me as well.
Okay.
All righty.
All righty.
All right. Get excited. It's going to be fun. New recipes. It's, you know, it's kind of getting me excited because I was eating the same old stuff. And now I'm like, okay, I'm getting the crock pot out, getting the Instapot out. I'm going to start making some more recipes again. So, you know, and one thing for you, Susie, you know, smoothies will be good for you because it's still probably hot in Florida. Jennifer, I don't know if it's getting cold yet, but I know for a couple of people that are on the East Coast, like Susan, she's not here today, but she's always like, I don't want to make a smoothie. Like, I don't want to drink a cold smoothie when it's cold outside. So tip, you don't have to make it cold. If you use bananas that are sitting out on the table and you have your Truvani powder and you're using lukewarm water, and then you use greens that are not in the freezer, but in the refrigerator, then your smoothie is lukewarm. It's not cold. You can even use a warmer water. You can even use like slightly warm water for your smoothie. It does not have to be a cold smoothie. We just do that. You know, it's easier to have stuff in the freezer, but it's easier to do that when it's hot outside. In the cold, you may not want to do that. And that's why we have some of those hot cereals and things, because people wanted something warmer than a smoothie.
Okay.
Got it.
Got it?
Got
Got
it.
it.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on. It's so good to see your faces, and have fun with it. If you have any questions, get back to me and we'll start on Monday. You should be getting an email pretty much every day of the cleanse. Just, a bit of information. And I didn't say it, but I know you both know it. The cleanse isn't all about food. It's really about lifestyle change. So take some time to look through those lifestyle changes. You may be more willing to do them if you haven't been during the cleanse, because it's kind of a set thing for 7 days. And then you may find that you really like them and that you'll continue to do it. But it's also a great way to work on your liver, with that castor oil pack, doing that every night. If you get the one from Queen of the Thrones, you can sleep in it easily. So I highly recommend that. All right.
Sounds
Alrighty.
Bye.
Alrighty.
Have a good
Bye.
weekend.
You too.